What were you just saying about Harvey Procter?
We were just saying that today Harvey Procter stood up in court and denounced the bloke who called himself Nick, who had said that he had abused him and even murdered someone in front of him. He'd witnessed a murder in front of him. And I remember when it was reported, it was way back, I think in the late 80s, I think it was. They can't have been that long ago. No, the offences were done in the late 80s. It was about 5-10 years ago, and Harvey Procter was all over the news as a suspect in this paedophile ring, as you know, with Edward Heath. And I remember thinking,
is he anything to do with Procter and Gamble?
I don't know. He's certainly not very rich.
Is he a proctologist?
No, he's called Harvey Procter. He was a
I mean, he's certainly not very rich. How do you know he's not very rich?
Because he worked at Belvoir Castle in some kind of...
What, in a suit of armour?
No.
What's Belvoir Castle, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, here we go.
Here
we go, another smear on the poor fellow.
All I'm saying is
Belvoir
Castle
when he came out, I thought...
made that up?
No, I've just read it, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, well, oh yeah, so it must be true.
Oh, for God's sake. And I remember thinking, Harvey Procter, there was always something wrong with him. Of course, he's a paedophile. They're all in it together. Because Leon Britton as well. The guy fingered Leon Britton as well.
And perhaps an inappropriate turn of phrase there, Guy.
And I thought
I think he was accusing him of doing it the other way.
It turns out that the man was just a malicious fantasist. And the police did a 15-hour raid search of Harvey Procter's house, found nothing incriminating, and didn't tell him what it was about.
Yeah.
I mean, it's... now I feel really, really sorry for the guy. But at the time, I would have gone and lynched him. I would have gone down there with flaming pitchforks and all that.
You need to write him a letter, Guy, and apologise for your thoughts.
No, not apologise for my thoughts. Just sympathise with what it's like to be wrongly accused.
Write him a letter.
I've never been wrongly accused.
Write him a letter.
Have you been wrongly accused? Wrongly accused? Have you?
Have I been wrongly accused? Discal occlusal. The dentist always says that when he's in my mouth. 5, 6, 7 discal occlusal. I don't even know what it means. 8, 9, 5 missing.
Upper 6.
Upper 6 molar, polar.
Yeah.
This one's got a... This one looks
like... little tink, 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 little sharp.
Anyway, I'm going to change the subject from dentistry because my tooth still isn't right. But listen, what I was going to say to you is this.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean that loads of Tory MPs are not raging pedos, Guy.
Well, I just think you need to be a bit careful with that kind of...
Wait a minute.
That kind of...
What about Cyril Smythe?
He wasn't Tory.
Oh, excuse me.
Well, you said you particularly...
Does that mean there aren't any Tory MP pedos?
No, Cyril Smith. Actually, I met Cyril Smith. And he never tried to come on to me. I was a young guy. I thought I was quite good looking. And he resisted me somehow. Maybe because I wasn't in that naughty boys' home.
Yeah, because you had agency, you had power, you had money behind you, you had parents who cared about you. That's not who they prey on. They prey on the weak, they prey on the vulnerable, they prey on the poor, they prey on the working class guy.
Did a Tory try and finger you?
No.
As a child?
No, Guy.
Were you quite...
I was a stroppy little fucker. No one would have dared mess with me as a kid.
Right. Unless they liked a bit of rough.
No, Guy. They would have got a kick in the bollocks. Out of.
That's a Labour MP.
There's a term for what I would have done to them, Guy.
Oh, yeah.
It's called grendeling the knackers, and that's what I would have done.
But they pay a lot. Your mate makes men pay for that.
Which makes men pay for
Remember
it?
you told us about your mate in Los Angeles?
Yeah, but that's a different thing, Guy. That's not abuse. The people pay for it when it's consenting.
Okay.
That's a different thing.
I totally agree.
I mean, Guy, Guy.
All right. I'm just trying to dig in because sometimes you have things called hidden memories, and they come out only when you're feeling in a very safe space like you are with me now, and you can talk about things that happened to little Paul.
Why do I not feel like I'm in a safe space with you now?
We can talk about things that happened to little Paul and know that no one will ever know about it.
Little Paul
and Big Paul.
Leave little Paul out of this. Listen, Guy, listen.
And you can open up to me.
It was a different... I'm not opening up to you or anybody else. There was a different thing then, though, and I do think that your pedos and your village nonces and what have yous, everybody kind of knew who they were back in the day.
Well, obviously not, because we all thought Harvey Procter was one, and it turned out he wasn't at all.
No one thought he was
Leon
back then.
Bratton. Well, anyway, I think I made my point.
Well, all I'm trying to say is,
What is it? There was a mob mentality, and some nasty creeps in the pub would point their finger at someone who was possibly, most likely, just gay, and call him a paedophile. And I'm sure there was a lot of horrible false accusations, and as well as, I guess, there was a lot of nasty stuff going on undetected. What to do, eh?
some people
Here
think
we
they
go.
should be killed or tortured.
What, by other people?
Peds.
No, well, I think, they're just criminals. They're criminals.
There's a
and they
certain
should be
kind of criminal guy, they prey on the weak and defenceless. Like people who go in grannies' houses and get them.
What, you think that Jimmy Savile should have been tortured? You think that would have helped?
I think a lot of people would have liked that.
Yeah, but that's... Paul, what drugs are you on?
I'm not on anything.
Are you on a lot of that Codamol?
I'm on the Codominol.
It's gone into the part of your brain which is the thinking
I'm being
part.
poisoned.
You've turned into unreconstructed.
Do you know what would happen, Guy, if there was a free vote in this country on hanging, for instance? It would be brought back. The majority of people in this country want corporal punishment, they want hanging, and they want pedos to be burned at the stake.
No, the majority... These are wild... Oh, yeah. On what basis do you make those
I
statements?
can prove it.
No, you can't prove it.
We could just do a straw poll.
Okay, between two of us. Okay, between the
No,
two
not us.
people in this room.
We go to a
okay,
poll.
who thinks that paedophiles should be burnt? Is that what you said? Right, you can.
I'm
My hands
gonna
down.
put one.
What about yours?
I'm going to put one.
So you could say 50%
Just
of
a minute.
50% of the
Just a
population
minute.
do on this poll,
Order.
but not.
Order. Guy, just a minute. Do you know what I'm going to do? This can be settled very easily.
Jesus Christ! What?
Do you know what I'm going to do?
Oh no, please.
We're going to put on Facebook, we're going to do a thingy, a vote thing. You can do them.
I bet they won't allow that one.
Oh, they will.
Okay, on the That's Just Ridiculous page.
Yeah.
It's a bit heavy, isn't it? Aren't we meant to?
We're talking about it now.
Aren't we meant to be all
Should we
kind
change the
of
subject?
frothy and light?
Frothy and light.
Yeah. Let's talk about kittens.
Well,
You love
what
kittens.
about people who kill kittens? They should be done as well. That one put a kitten in a microwave recently. She should be killed. She should have a whole cut in a microwave, and they should put it on her head and put it on
Who
full
have you turned
power.
into? What happened?
I'm annoyed today.
I'm annoyed today too. Actually, I'm really
What's
angry
going on?
today.
Why?
I've been angry all week.
What's going on? Don't start talking about this time-sensitive shit either.
No, I'm saying my inability to do any good work this week. My feel. I think also the feeling of the festival about to kick off, and the anxieties around that.
Yeah.
And I think also just a general feeling of my old age catching up with me, and my youth slipping behind.
We're destined for doom. There's no doubt. There's no doubt about that. It's a one-way ticket, man.
But I'm 6 years further down the line than
Mate,
you.
no one here gets out alive, Guy. No one here. Mate, Guy, listen.
Yeah.
We're thundering towards the abyss. Let me
Yeah.
tell you something, Guy.
Yeah.
Doom is rushing towards us all.
Yeah.
And you never know when it could happen.
Wednesday.
It could happen. You could just walk out of this
I'm
thing
thinking Wednesday
and a
at 6
meteorite
p.m.
could land on you. A meteorite
God,
could actually land
if
on you.
only.
People have been killed that way.
Quite a good way to go.
It's fucking spectacular.
Have you made a will?
No. Shall I make one?
Yeah, I got one at WH Smith's.
Does anybody want any of my shit? I think I need an heir more than a will. Anyway,
What about your old pal guy?
that's another subject. Well, I thought I was going to beat you to the. You were going to beat me to the pick me at the post.
Yeah, this is the whole pod is about this, isn't it? Because we're going to pod every week until one of us dies.
Yeah, it is about that.
The last one will be great. We'll
What
do
about-
one more after the person's dead,
Yeah.
which the person does it on their own. Do you think we
The
can hold
weeping pod.
the or the laughing one if
What
it's me?
Podding live from the funeral.
At
So
last,
here I
I'm
am.
free of him.
This is called That's Just Ridiculous.
That's very funny.
Here I am. This guy's just being wheeled in. It's a closed. He insisted on a closed casket.
There's a thump, thump, thump,
because of the
thump, thump
grimace.
from the inside of the wood. We'll turn the microphone down. We can move on quickly. Get it into the flames. Paul's desperate to get out of doing that. So
like
they're doing the pod each week. It's the only way.
Like Steptoe and Son ride again when they put him in the coffin and he's trying to get out. He falls asleep. And then he's going, Dad, Dad. And he's going, oh, he's beside himself with grief, but the old man's asleep in the coffin. That film is genius. Have you ever watched that movie?
No.
My God, Guy.
Because most of those 70s and 80s TV series didn't transfer very well onto the big screen.
They were a bit tokenist, weren't they?
Yeah. Do you remember the Morecambe and Wise movie?
I don't think I've ever had the pleasure.
Directed by my mate, actually, and a lovely fellow.
Really?
Yeah. When I was a young man, he was a film director I worked for. It wasn't easy on the eyes.
No. Not very funny.
No, it was a scene where they were both water skiing in their suits, and it was done on the blue screen. You know, really so.
Shit. Do you know what? I never found them funny, Guy. Them two. They just weren't funny. Shut up, fat hairy legs, and moving his glasses up and down. What the fuck was funny about that?
Yeah, I do kind of know what you mean. In the way that Ronnie Corbett and Ronnie Barker were genuinely much funnier.
Yes, much funnier.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
And what about Dick Emery? He was really funny. Oh, you are awful, but I like it. Dad, and the skinheads. Dad, what's that, son? Skinhead father and son. I've been looking for a nice young man like you. Honky tonks. Hello, honky tonks.
They were just a whole load. Was that homophobia?
Of course it was, but it was. I don't know. It was
kind of adoring of it as well.
It was gentle. Yeah, I think it was gentle. I don't think it was mean humour.
Because Kenny Everett was like that. He was highly camp, wasn't he?
Yeah, but he was gay.
And Dick Emery wasn't.
I don't think Dick Emery was gay. But you never know with those. A lot of those fellas were in the closet, weren't they, in those days? So you never really knew. I'm not sure. I think Dick Emery was married, but then again, what does that mean anyway? Especially in those days. You know?
Almost a certain sign.
It was absolutely de rigueur. Oh, you are awful, but I like you. Oh, hello, honky tonks. With that ridiculous hat on. Fucking fantastic. I mean, just amazing. I loved Dick Emery.
He minced.
Oh, he was wonderful. Mm-hmm. I absolutely loved him.
Did you find Tommy Cooper funny?
I love Tommy Cooper. I don't know why. I've got a mate who talks like
Hold on. That's that other guy. What's he called? Vanessa's friend. What's he called? Phil. Phil Dirtbox.
If I talk just like that, right? And I once said to Phil Dirtbox, Vanessa had just split up with Phil Dirtbox, actually. Vanessa's Swedish, and she was like, fucking Phil, he's a cunt, I'm fucking sick of him. So I rang her up. I was like, all right, Van, it's Phil. Listen, I was wondering if you want to meet me down the French house for a quick drink this evening. I'll just have a bit of a chat. All right, I'll see you there, doll, about 7. And Vanessa was like, fucking hell, man, he's got a cheek ringing me up. Okay, I'm going to go down there. And we were all like, don't go. And I was just like biting my lip with laughter. And then she went to meet him, unknown to me, she went to meet him, and he went, and he was there, he happened to be there.
Of course.
Because he's always in the French anyway. Yeah. And so she walked in and Phil's there, and she goes, so what you fucking want to meet me for? And he goes, what are you fucking talking about? And she goes, you left me a fucking message, man, saying you want to fucking meet me. And he was like, I fucking never left you a message. I was just sitting all afternoon. I want to leave you a message. And she played it back to me and went, fucking hell, I don't remember that. I must have been fucking pissed. I love Phil, he's great. Phil, for anybody who doesn't know, he's kind of like, He's a real denizen of Soho. He's about
Yes.
6'4".
Oh, I'd say even more.
Maybe 6'6".
Yeah, I'd say 6'6".
Wears a bowler hat.
And slightly kind of 50s teddy boy clothes.
Yes, definitely a draped jacket.
So a striking figure.
He is
A
such a
striking
striking figure.
And he speaks exactly the way Paul imitates him. And he's a poet, isn't he?
He's a poet, yeah. He does a great poem about
What
Robert
about
McCall.
why is he called
Robert
Dirtbog?
McCall, the equaliser. What does he say? If your mother's on crack or your kid's in a child porn ring, ring him and he'll get back and he won't charge you anything. The equaliser. The problem with it is no one fucking remembers who the equaliser is anymore. And he still does the poem. And everyone just looks a bit baffled, you know.
Why is he called Dirtbog?
The mind boggles, doesn't it? I just don't know. I don't think it's anything to do with...
Is it his nom de plume? Does he write under
I
Dirtbog?
think he does, yeah. I think it is a nom de plume. But I think it's also... I don't think it's got anything to do with like your actual dirt boxes. As in
what?
you don't know what a dirt box is.
Well, is it the poo department of the body?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's the anus. It's another name for the anus guy. The inhul.
It's not a nice name to carry through
Yeah, but
life,
I
is
think
it?
he had a night. He had a club night called Dirt Box.
Oh, right.
So he became known as Phil
right.
Dirtbox.
Yeah.
As you know, he became the eponymous.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's quite a character.
He is, yeah.
But unfortunately, he got priced out of Soho. He couldn't stay there anymore. Had to move. I wonder, Guy. I was sounding like a couple of old Soho lovers this evening.
Well, just
What
about
the old days in Soho.
the French house.
Such characters at the French in those days.
Well, I wasn't really. I was right on the. I was there before it, and I was always right on the periphery, totally on the periphery. I was never really drawn into that.
You were a bit of an 80s spiv, really, weren't you? A bit of a yuppie guy.
Yeah, yes, I was actually. I was. I guess I was. Well,
Yuppie?
I don't know. It was
gonna have to
before
ask you-
Sloane Rangers. It was before the real rise of the privately educated middle class English children. Before they'd started getting into the media, for instance, there were very few of them. All the photographers hadn't been to private school, whereas now I bet you half of them have.
Yeah, you had David Bailey, didn't you?
Exactly.
People like him.
Yeah.
And,
Terence Donovan.
yeah.
And the directors were like Alan Parker and Adrian Lyne and.
They were pretty posh, Guy. Film directors were posh.
Oh no!
Dickie Attenborough.
Yeah, but that's way before. That's a whole generation before. This lot had all been. Well, as you know, Alan Parker went to school in Islington, didn't he? Went to comprehensive in
did he?
Islington. Yeah. No, this lot were all working class.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, because of your Friday night, kitchen sink dramas and all that stuff.
No, this is after that. This is adverts in the 60s when suddenly commercial TV arrived and they needed some people to make adverts, and none of your dickies and all those people
Wanted to do it
because they felt it was beneath them, and then they thought, oh, it's actually quite fun. 30 seconds is quite a bit of you've actually got to be pretty skilled
You get to work with some dolly birds. It's great. You get in the boozer.
Yeah, they made the Hovis commercial.
It's wicked. It's great.
And all those Guinness commercials.
Yeah, yeah. And they all kicked it, didn't they?
Yeah.
They kicked it. They rocked it.
Ridley Scott.
Yeah. He's a good director, isn't he? He's done very well.
Yeah, and his brother was his producer.
Amazing guy, really.
He was an art director.
Yeah?
He was an art director at
Was he?
BBC, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I've never met him. I'd like to meet him one day. He'll probably die before I have a chance. All the ones I like die before I have a chance. Like I never
Well,
met-
no, put it the other way, before they have a chance of meeting you.
Ah, very good, very well said, Guy. I mean, like Bowie, I always wanted to meet him, and I always think the people I know that met him didn't really appreciate him.
My mate shagged Bowie.
Sorry?
My mate shagged Bowie.
Male or female?
Female.
And she got on him.
She got on him, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What did she think?
She loved him. She adored him.
Oh, she was in love with him.
Absolutely adored him, yeah.
What's her name, if you can say? Can't say.
I can say Layla, yeah. You say Layla.
Layla. Got me on my knees.
And, and she used to tell us stories about him. He seemed like a nice guy.
I think he was a lovely man. I would very much like to have met him.
What would you have said to him?
He was adorable. I don't know. I just think that's the thing. What do you say to something like that? You'd really need to be like, you need the plane to crash and you need to be stuck on an island with them for a couple of weeks to get through all the fucking
I bet
bullshit.
David Bowie would have loved that.
He'd have
If the
been
plane
like,
crashes, that's bad
He'd have
enough.
been like,
He's on a fucking island for 2 weeks with Paul Fryer.
It's great, but would you mind keeping to your end of the island? You know, just maybe a few hours a day.
Paul,
I just like to
means that Paul's
concentrate.
fashioned a guitar out of a coconut.
Yeah. Come on, Dave. Listen, the thing is, right, I just want to relax, actually, because it's been quite traumatic, and I wonder if you'd mind giving me a bit of peace and quiet. Sure, Dave. Yeah, no problem. I'll go work on some new material. I'll come back when the sun's about. Yeah, whatever. You know, but just if you wouldn't mind calming down a bit, you know. I still feel pretty woozy. I think he would have been nice. I met Brian Ferry once, and he's one of my idols. And he was at a lunch. I told you this story. And my friend said to me,
Was it the one where he blanked you?
he said, he says, I've sat you next to Brian, I know you're a big fan. And I was like, what? I'm sitting next to Brian Ferry. I'm sitting next to Brian Ferry.
Was it the one women, wasn't man, woman kind of thing? No.
Well, just this person whose birthday party it was knew that I loved him and just sat me next to him.
Okay, that's cool.
So I sat down and Brian sort of turned and went, hi. And immediately looked irritated that he wasn't flanked by women. He's a real ladies' man. He loves women.
Not only not flanked by women, but was flanked by Paul Fryer.
He didn't know I was then.
No, indeed. Yes.
He does now. Although he's probably forgotten.
But flanked by a complete unknown a youngster who's
So I'm sat next to him and
bit mouthy.
I'm going, he goes, hi. I go, yeah, hi, Paul. And so he's chatting to the ladies, both ladies on his left for a while. And then I think eventually he turns.
Are you actually touching his sleeve, trying to get his attention?
Waving, coughing in his ear. Eventually he turns and goes, hi, I'm sorry. He said, I feel like I've really blanked you a little bit, but, you know, I was just having a really interesting conversation with her. What's your name? And I said, Paul. I went, it's really nice to meet you, Brian. I'm a real big fan of your work. Oh, great. Thank you. Thanks very much. He said, any particular... I said, I love the early stuff. Oh, me too. I really like it. Yeah, it's great. I said, it's I'm a real fan, you know. It's like I really like singing your songs, actually. In fact, I sing them at the piano sometimes. Oh, you do? Do you really? Yeah, I do. I sing at the piano, and it's great, actually. And actually, I did this gig recently called Roxy Bowie, and we played 5 Roxy songs and 5 Bowie songs, like one after the other, and then I got the audience to vote, and of course Bowie won, but, you know, he always fucking wins. But the thing is, I was really rooting for you, but, you know, the audience are just, you know, they're just, because Bowie's so much more, and he's sort of looking at me, and I can see him, like, thinking, what the fuck is going on? And then I said, how, you know, it's like when you're in the middle of a song like Mother of Pearl, for instance, and the lyrics are all so similar, isn't it really easy to get lost? I mean, how do you... And he's like looking at me, he goes, well, I usually have an auto cue. And I can see this portcullis going, ding, 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 like this going down. And I'm like underneath the gate going, no, Brian, listen, you've got the wrong idea about me. And then he really kind of slowly turned until he was 3/4 facing away from me. I believe it is called the cold shoulder.
Yeah.
I was very sad about it, but what can you do?
Yeah. Well, no.
I don't hold it against him.
No. I'm sure he regrets it hugely.
I'm
sure that's one of the reasons probably why he's
a recluse.
So miserable.
He's a miserable
that
fucker.
night, he cannot shake that night from his memory. Afternoon from his memory, when that winsome lad was beside him, and he missed the opportunity to show some humanity.
But Brian, before you go, would you mind autographing my napkin? No, it was bad. I like his dad dancing. Have you seen Brian Ferry's dad dancing?
He's okay.
He kind of gets one hand and he kind of goes to one side like that, and then he punches the other hand. So he kind of punches across like that, and then he kind of puts his weight onto the other foot and then punches across with the other hand, and that's his dance. Mm-hmm. But he used to. He
is Brian Ferry. Give him a break.
Yeah, but he used to do this one where he kind of go like this. He looks like he's grinning. So he's like, his teeth are like showing. It kind of looks like he's biting down on an invisible biscuit or something at the back of his thing. And he used to kind of do this, like hands out like this kind of like movement with the hands like offering an invisible object, one after the other. That was his other dance.
Right.
Very cool.
Right.
I quite liked his combat fatigues phase.
Did he? I thought he was always quite glam.
Oh no, he went through a combat fatigue phase after Roxy. before he got into all the white evening wear.
That's it. Cruise wear.
Yeah, he does look like a refugee from a cruise ship, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. But I do see him around a bit. I've never
Name dropping.
I've never spoken to him.
Clang.
He never looks that jolly.
Meow,
But, you know,
hello. Come in, Pablo.
I tell you never see someone more sadder than a really famous person on their own.
They're so alone, aren't
Sometimes you see them walking down the street really famous, and I always think, hey, you never see a
You
man
are alone.
look more
Now
sad
you're alone.
than a really famous person. With
And then there were none.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you just want to go up to them and say, well, hey, where are all your fans now then, eh?
no, Paul, I definitely don't.
Where's all your fucking fans now then, eh? Famous bastard.
Paul.
I would never say a thing like that.
Good.
I am
a bit aggressive.
A very
What?
live and let live kind of person, Guy. I live and let live. I appreciate people for who they are. I like everyone to get on. That's my way. Very much my way.
Yeah. You'll chat to anyone. When you lost your glasses and you only had dark glasses, one night when the light was very low, I promise I saw you chatting to a pillar. I did. Actually, there was a person just behind and I couldn't see them. And I saw you and I thought, oh, Paul's charming a pillar. Paul's charming a bit of architect.
He's got his glasses back.
He's got to get the glasses back. Because I really thought you were chatting up a bit of a wall.
I was going out of an evening with dark glasses because I couldn't find my other glasses. And now I've lost them, which is annoying. But now the summer's here, of course. It would go that way.
Yeah, summer is here.
Summer's here and the time is right.
And the pod we're going to be doing from the Glastonbury Festival because it's next week. And we'll be okay.
Are you shitting it?
I am a bit. It's all that chaos, and
everyone goes, "Oh, it's going to be great! I can't wait!" And I'm thinking,
false jollity. Absolutely, I'm so allergic to. But a scheme of merriment.
Yeah, your favourite scheme of merriment.
There is nothing more hopeless than a scheme of
250,000 people
determined to have a good time. Determined to have a good time.
Yeah.
Everyone always walks up to me and goes, "Guy, what's wrong?" Or, "Chill out, Guy. Relax, what's happened?" There are a number of people say, "What's happened?"
What's up, Guy?
Because I'm like sitting so anxious, unable to think of anything to say.
Yeah, or what's going to happen, or why
I
you're
don't
even
really
there.
like live music.
No, and
I can't get, there is that sense that somewhere over a hedge, there is probably, actually there isn't. But
a giant pile of poo.
Yeah.
There probably is.
That's true. Yeah, and the whole going to the lavatory stuff and all that's been,
They're going to leave no trace this year. Guy. They're going to love the farm.
Yeah.
They're going to leave no trace.
Sure. Just 10,000 tents.
Loads of shit and crap.
Yeah, but we'll tat some wellies because we're running a bit short of wellies.
I want to get on the tower.
We'll tat some wellies. Eyes down.
Eyes down. I want to dig a tunnel in and make a bit of money.
People smuggling.
Yeah, a tunnel, a proper tunnel, like fucking 300 metres long.
Oh, right, with a little trolley.
The trolley.
And the festoon of lights.
Festoon lights.
And the guy at the end pumping the bellows. All right, Ginger?
Yeah. Shaking the dirt out of your trousers.
That's it. It's like
around Pilton.
Yeah, we'll have a vaulting club.
The Pilton Vaulting Club.
Yeah, and underneath one of us will be burrowing.
Morning! Oh, you're here again. Yes, so just taking the air. What's the... Oh, no. That's just my compost heap.
And we dig a tunnel underneath.
Yeah, and then we get them in there like that. Because I think it is Stalag Luft Glastonbury this year, isn't it?
Well, security is tight.
I mean, short of...
lockdown.
Towers, and I think they've got razor wire, haven't they now?
No, they haven't. The top of the aluminium wall has a sort of angled 18 inches or 2 foot, but it's not actually got razor on it. But the thing is that, I don't know, people...
You just cut through the aluminium wall with a steel saw.
Well, there'd be about 28 nightclub bouncers from Bradford on you, all roided up.
pummeling you, forcing you to eat your still saw.
Exactly.
Inserting it when the sun doesn't
before
shine.
they drop kicked you to Shepton Mallet. So I wouldn't advise it, Paul. No, you have to play straight though.
You could stay in a tree in the weeks running up.
So we'd have to go over there tonight, basically, because I think this is almost the last night that it's really open.
Get in.
Even I'm not sure about tonight. I think if we tried to go over there now, they wouldn't let us in. I have no idea.
Really?
I don't think so. People are going on and off, but yeah, I don't know. But
I think it's going to be all right. I think
actually, in a long time hence, there'll be conscription to get into to fill that place up. I'm sorry, lad. Your numbers come up.
Have to go in.
You've got to go to Glastonbury.
You're going over the top.
Dad, I don't want to do it. Son,
we all have to do it.
Say you've got Spurs.
We all have to do it, lad. You're going in. You're going to have to see Hawkwind. I want to see Hawkwind this year, but I do love Hawkwind. They're fabulous.
Did they have a drummer called Simon Phillips at one point?
Simon.
No, there was a guy at school with me called Simon Phillips, whose father had a big band called Sid Phillips, and he was a very good drummer, Simon, and he was in a number of bands.
If he was a really good drummer, it's unlikely he played with Hawkwind.
In that case, he didn't. He was a really good drummer. He was a session drummer. Then he got into some really big bands.
I don't think he would have been in Hawkwind.
He wasn't in Hawkwind.
I mean, I like the Hawkwind's drummer because it's Simon House who was the drummer. I remember.
God.
Dick Mick, Del Detmar. This was the ultimate lineup. Dick Mick, Del Detmar.
Hold on.
Mick
Wheel up. Dick Mick.
Dick Mick.
What was his second name? Was Mick?
Dick was his name.
Right. Okay.
Dick Mick.
Probably not born with that name.
Oh, almost certainly. And then Del Detmar.
Sounds
on audio generators.
Audio. Does that mean singer?
No, it means.
Oh yeah, I love that one.
All that stuff.
So Saturday night, where will you be to watch them?
It's called the acoustic stage, but I don't think.
What?
I know. Fucking Hawkwind acoustic stage.
Hold on. That's the only bit of them we don't want to hear.
I did manage to make a big long tube sound like a synthesizer.
Oh yeah, the sewage.
Sewage tube, yeah, just like the end of it.
Didgeridoo. Didgeridoo.
More like a synth bass line. I reckon if you've got different lengths, you can probably be quite a passable mood. But yeah, I'm very excited about Hawkwind. And I'd quite like to see the Ruffles.